Here's another keepsakecrafts.net video for House of Gems. Today we're making this pretty earth tone necklace with Swarovski sparkle. So to make this necklace you will need, first of all, some chain that's in a length that you would like your necklace to be. You'll also need another piece of chain that is 9 inches long. You'll need some Swarovski crystal beads. This is a wonderful mix. I love their mixes of colors. This one is called Mojave, and these are 4mm bicones, and you'll need 3 packages of 30 to make this necklace. You'll also need 16 head pins, 5 jump rings, a clasp, 2 crimps, and a 15-inch piece of bead stringing wire. For tools, all you'll need are some wire cutters and chain nose pliers. So the first thing we're going to do is make our little flower embellishment, and for that we'll start with our 15-inch piece of bead stringing wire and just string on a crimp, and then string the wire back through that crimp and slide it down until you have just a little loop, and use a pair of chain nose pliers to flatten that crimp. Test it, make sure it's strong. This you do not want coming apart. And then trim off the excess wire. The next step will be to string on 13 beads from your Swarovski assortment. Once you have your beads strung on, your 13 4mm crystals, just poke the wire right back through that loop you made and pull it all up snug. And this basically makes the first petal of our little flower. Now repeat to add another 13 beads and go back through that loop again, and then add 3 sets of 11 beads. As you're stringing, don't really worry about any kind of pattern or keeping it random. It doesn't matter so much if you have a couple beads that are the same next to each other. If you have one of these mixes, it's all going to work out nice and random, so just scoop up whichever bead comes next to the end of your wire. And keep in mind, you can certainly change the proportions of these. You could have just 2 pairs of 2 loops and have them even sizes and make yourself a big floppy bow. There's lots of different ways you could do this. You could use different kinds of beads rather than the Swarovskis, although I certainly love the way they sparkle. So just choose whatever colors appeal to you or suit the occasion you're making this for, and make something that you enjoy. So once you have all of your beads strung on, you should have something that looks like this. Just kind of a loopy, sort of flower-like embellishment. And to finish it up, we're just going to finish the way we started. We're going to slide on a crimp, slide the wire back through the crimp. Only this time I'm just going to put a pair of pliers in there and slide that loop down just so that it holds all my wires snug. And then you can reach in there and flatten that crimp. Careful not to catch any of your crystals, because you can crush them. Test that loop and then trim off the excess wire. And we'll set that aside for the moment while we make our bead dangles. So I've got some more of my crystals here, and this is very simple. I'm just going to slide each crystal onto a head pin. I'm going to trim it to 3/8 of an inch long, and I'm going to take a pair of round nose pliers, grab that wire and make a loop, twist it till it crosses over itself, and then bend it back so it's no longer crossed over itself and it's centered over the bead and the loop is closed. And that's all there is to do that. You just make 16 of those units. Let me zoom in and I'll show you one more time. Bead goes on the head pin. Trim to 3/8 of an inch above the bead. grasp with round nose pliers, twist, and when you need to reposition, you just loosen the pliers and then twist them back. And then grab that wire and bend the whole thing back so it's centered over the bead. And this is a bead dangle. And if you need to, make sure that loop is closed. So repeat to make 16 little bead dangles. So now I've got all of my little dangles made, and now it's time to attach them to the chain. So you're going to take both of your pieces of chain, the longer one and the shorter one, and find the center of each one and attach one bead dangle to each center. And you just open up your loop the same way you would a jump ring by twisting it open. And then attach that to the center of your chain, and then twist your loop closed. Repeat to add a dangle to the center of the longer chain as well. Next, you want to kind of lay out your chains and position the shorter one so that that dangle is about an inch further up. Or really however much you like, whatever looks nice to you. To me, this looks about right, having this about an inch higher than the other one. And then at that point, you just want to open a jump ring. Find the link of your longer chain where it meets that shorter one. Put the jump ring through there and the end link of your shorter chain. Repeat on the other side, and then to add a total of 9 bead dangles spaced evenly along the longer chain and 7 spaced evenly along the shorter one. And as you're adding your links, what I've found is once I've laid it out and found a spacing I like, then I simply counted. And so I decided to have 4 links between each of my dangles, and that works out nicely, rather than doing some kind of crazy measurement for every one. This would be a really pretty necklace if you used pearls as dangles, and even little pearls for your flower accent. So many different possibilities. There, so now I've added my little bead dangles to the 2 chains, and just a couple steps left. First of all, take a jump ring and open it up and use that to attach your little flower embellishment. Just find that loop that you finished with, put the jump ring through there, and then put it through the jump ring connecting your 2 chains. Close that up nice and securely. And then the last step is just to attach your clasp to one end and a jump ring to the other, and your necklace is done.